What's up, guys? Welcome back to Loveshack, and today we're doing a deck profile video for you. I've got an Unchained deck profile, which is a really fun deck I've been playing around with, but kind of want to take a minute just to address sort of what's going on a little bit. For those of you, I don't know, maybe living under a rock, obviously we're dealing with a lot of chaos right now with the coronavirus situation. I'm in the U.S. I know a lot of countries, if not all countries, are being affected by this, and a lot of people are sick. A lot of people are out of work. My best wishes to anyone that's in need, anyone going through a tough time. Fortunate enough to be able to work from home right now, but I know some people don't have that benefit, so hopefully everybody's good, and certainly try to help anyone in any way you can, and I will do the same on my end. That being said, they've canceled a lot of upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh! Events, at least through mid to the end of April. I think it goes a little bit into May. There's still product coming out, so Dual Overload comes out this week. I'm looking forward to opening some of those, and more than likely we'll end up doing some videos for that, just because get some content out there, give you guys something else to watch and just something to do. But yeah, so I won't be able to go to any locals for a little while or anything like that. We're trying to minimize those things around here. I did get to play with this deck before that, though, once this past week, and I had a lot of fun with it. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, put your health first. Best of luck to everybody in need, and hopefully, who knows, maybe this will have a positive impact on the market. Maybe some of the stuff that's high right now will actually cool off, and you guys can get some stuff that you need or want for your decks, down the line. So, yeah, like I said, if you guys want to see some of their openings, deck profiles, let me know. Obviously limited in what I can get in right now, but I'm going to try and do some more discussion videos and stuff in the coming weeks. So, let's jump into it then. Enough talking from me. We've got 3 Unchained Twins Sarama, 3 Unchained Twins Rakia, and 3 Unchained Twins Aruha. So this is pretty standard. 3 of each I think is pretty good. From what I've seen, some people are playing 2 of the dark one. I just think it's way too good not to maximize. It's also searchable, so there's definitely arguments to be made, but I'm just really happy with these ratios. These are the only ones I play 3 ofs in the deck. The best one being the fire one, just because you can special it from the hand and pop your own trap and really get your plays going. For the 2 ofs, I got 2 Unchained Soul of Disaster and 2 Abominable Unchained Souls. This card's insanely good. Just as a generic hand trap type card, it's pretty good, but it works extremely well in this deck. And then Disaster, we all know it. Really good. You can link away your opponent's monster and out it, and also if it dies by card effect, you can special summon an Unchained from the grave. But this is probably the most brickiest card I've ever seen in my life. That's why I'm only playing 2. Some people play just 1. I'm a little bit skeptical by Called by the Grave and stuff. If that were to get banished, I'm more or less losing a lot of my engine pieces. So I think 2 is a pretty good number. But, yeah, man, I hate seeing that card. Like, if I can open up and somehow get both of these engraved before the first turn ends, I'm pretty good going forward, I think. All right, for the non-Unchained, so I got 2 Skarm and 2 Tour Guide. Now, the Skarm can search a lot of targets in the deck, including the Dark Unchained level 3. Tour Guide is just an extender that can grab quite literally any of your Unchained monsters, so I don't know why you wouldn't maximize it. And then these cards are low-key like the best cards this deck has access to. So if you're not familiar, I'll really quickly go over it. Dark Spirit of Malice, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you discard it. Special summon a level 8 Fiend from your graveyard and negate its effects. So typically you're going to get Disaster, though you can get Unchained Soul as well. And then while it's in the grave, if a level 8 Fiend monster is sent to your grave, you can add it to your hand. So it's each a hard once per turn. This card has that same recursion effect, but instead of discarding to special when your opponent activates a card or effect, this one is when your opponent declares an attack, you discard this, and then you special summon a Fiend and redirect the attack to it. So I think Malice is better just because it's a little bit less restrictive in when you can use it. This is a pretty good ratio, though. 2 and 1, just because I've had this get Called by the Grave a lot. They want to out that, and having access to an extra copy can be pretty solid. If you open right, you can get, 1 or both of these engraved, and then sort of, this deck thrives in longer games, right? So you don't want to, this deck's going to ultimately do well in any game that goes past, like, turn 2 or 3, once you're really able to get your resources set up. And it's kind of trap heavy, so that makes sense. For the spells, Triple Abomination's Prison. This is a Rhoda, searches. It's just not much to say about it. Not to mention it does have a second effect. If it gets popped, you can special summon an Unchained from the deck. Each of those are a hard once per turn. 2 Allure. Some people play Pot of Extravagance. Obviously, it's just a little expensive right now, and I think Allure's pretty much does the same thing. You do occasionally have dead draws or extra bricks in hand you want to be able to cycle through, so that works well there. One Wailing of the Unchained Souls. I play this primarily for its pop effect, just because it's another name, another target, but you can also revive it with Saruma, bring it back, and then you can, you know, I guess that banish effect can be okay from time to time. I don't use the banish effect a ton, though, to be honest. And then one Monster Reborn and one Mind Control. I'm actually thinking of bumping this up to 2, assuming that there's no additional hits to it on the list. Being able to take your opponent's monster and then pop it to trigger one of your Unchained effects is actually really good, and it basically makes Mind Control a you know, removal that is multifaceted, because you can take it and link, or you can take it and then pop it. So that's it for spells, and then for the traps, it's obviously a very trap-heavy deck, at least by this format standards. I got triple Escape of the Unchained and triple Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. Yes, you can dead draw them, but they're way too important not to see. There's some really good combos with this deck, just like one of the ones I really like is if you open... what is it? I forget which one it was. So it's like, there's some interesting combos that you can do with these two. Where, like, if you open Rakia, and I guess this works with the fire one as well, where it's like you set this, pop it, special summon Sarama from the deck by its effect, and then Sarama effect, you pop this, set this from grave, and then you get another special off that, which really puts you in a powerful position, especially because you basically get a free monster from deck, and then you have something reactive. So you can use this, or you can use Escape, which is like a Scrap Dragon. It pops one of each, gives you a few more reactionary plays, you know, especially if you end up making Unchained Soul of Rage or anything like that. And then for the rest of the traps, triple Crackdown, another card really like similar to Mind Control, but just hurts Lunalight. It hurts a lot of decks that are reliant on that, getting that summon out, you know, Kaleido Chick, or pretty much anything really that needs their pieces to go off. And then triple Torrential. This is just a fun card to be able to play again, and it actually works really well in the deck. Like, you want to go first, so Torrential's super important, and it just gives you pluses. Like, there's no drawback to it in this deck. Almost everything in the deck triggers off of being destroyed. So Torrential can still be really disruptive, and I think you'll see it sort of become better in the upcoming formats, especially if things do slow down a little bit, which I guess remains to be seen. So yeah, huge fan of that. For the extra deck, I'm not 100% sold on this yet, but it's what I'm working with right now. 2 Unchained Soul of Rage, 2 Anguish, 1 Abomination. I think it's a good ratio. This card's nuts, but like, it is, again, recyclable with Disaster, and some of the other cards can get it back. I think that's solid. Anguish is bad, but you have to play it. And I say it's bad because it doesn't have a quick effect like Rage does, so you can't do anything with it during your opponent's turn, which is kind of unfortunate. But double Nightmare Unicorn. So this card's insanely good with Rage, like to take your opponent's monster, react, and spin something, especially if you're getting rid of something that you can grab back to your hand later or revive. I think 2 is good, especially because it locks you into Fiends, and Unicorn is probably one of the best Fiend targets you have. Nightmare Phoenix as well, same thing. It's just, you know, realistically speaking, you're going to get more maximization, I think, out of Unicorn most of the time. The Topologic Trisbana and Bomber Dragon, you can play Zeraboros as well. I don't in this deck, but it's definitely one of those options. I think for my another rank 4, I am playing Borlo Dragon just to out Max, so that's what that's for. Cherubini's really good. The only thing that can be a little frustrating about this card is, like, you are locked into Fiends if you use certain effects, but if you can go turn 1 with this and Tour Guide, dump your Unchained Soul of Disaster, pitch a Sky, you know, there's so many, like, ways to really set things up with this that, like, early on in the game it's worth having access to. And then I play the one to Girsu. I can actually, like, hard make this, like, a lot with, like, Disaster and the other one. If you revive things with the Dark Spirits or whatever, you can occasionally use him. But he's just decent, too, playing against Orcust or anything that's doing that. Mind Control, Crackdown. It gives you some outs to things. And then double Breaksword. Just, again, another really good card. It's a rank 3. It's a Fiend. It triggers, works combos every well with the deck. So, just a really good card overall. So, that's the extra deck 15. Side deck isn't perfect, but I'm happy with it for now. Triple Call by the Grave, triple Lava Golem. Now, obviously, you can play Spear Mode, but this is a Fiend, so even if you are locked out of certain restrictions, you can still summon Lava Golem. Triple DD Crow, triple Twin Twister, and double Heavy Storm Duster with 1 red reboot. So it's a pretty standard side. There's certain things you could tweak, you know, Gamma, but I do have a lot of stuff on the board a lot. So I'm not hugely fond of that in this deck. Ash Blossom, you know, whatever you want to play. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully everyone's staying safe. Let me know what other things you'd like to see on the channel, whether it's openings, videos, discussions. I don't know if the ban list is coming out as regularly scheduled, or if there might be some changes to that, but certainly we'll pass that news along when I hear it. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time right here at Loveshack.